Hello, YouTube! It's me, Sky from Sky's Horror Place, and we got Josh from the ShockBlast Gamer channel.
What's up, guys?
And today, this is more of an unscripted rant on the Krampus film. The PG-13 Krampus film that is considered
It's okay.
Josh, you start.
Alright. Krampus was released... Well, actually, I don't know when it was released. We didn't look this up before But it was
I guess unscripted.
Yeah, unscripted. It was released a few years back. It is a Christmas horror film hybrid. Now, the plot is a boy named Max. His family is trying to celebrate the best Christmas they can. Unfortunately, the Christmas doesn't go as well because they don't have a strong bond as a family. So, looking at this theme, you would assume, well, it's a family film. Well, that's the first issue I have with the film is it's very inconsistent in what they want the theme to be. Sometimes it said it's supposed to be a Christmas horror film. Sometimes it's supposed to be a family film.
Sometimes it's a comedy.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's very inconsistent, and that's the problem with this, because especially for it being a horror films have always lied. They're having one theme the entire story. This one contained many different themes. But, yeah.
At least the acting is pretty good.
The
set direction is pretty good because it looks nice. The Krampus himself looks pretty fucking terrifying, with his elongated face and just the demonic Santa look.
The long horns, yeah, exactly. He looks exactly like the hellish version of Santa, definitely. And
with the many different versions of Krampus you get nowadays, insert pictures here, and here, it's definitely something that, it's a nice change of pace, because usually, whenever we see Krampus in films, he's usually like a big, bad, furry man. But this one, he actually does just look like Santa, but someone ran him through the shredder.
Exactly. And, now, getting to the characters. So, the character of Max himself, definitely...
He's a brat.
He is.
Grandma's the best character in the film.
Definitely. Yeah, his German grandma, best character in the film overall. She carries this thing. She's supposed to be kind of the positive energy that goes with the whole negative family conflict.
Lady, yeah.
That's right, yeah, and her backstory is described when she was very young. And
she met Krampus before.
Yes, she met Krampus. Now, I very actually like this segment of the film because when she's describing her backstory, totally animated, stop motion. It seems very similar to Tim Burton, and they actually got Henry Selick to be the head of this one scene. So you got that kind of classic horror animation style to go with this backstory. So I think, honestly, all the sections that focused on the German grandma herself, definitely the positives of the film. Now, probably the most annoying part is, of course, the family. Now, that's the whole idea of the film, is that this family is they're not connected, they have issues, they argue a lot. But personally, that's the issue I have with it, because the arguing gets very annoying after a while. What do you think of the arguing in the film?
I mean, I could do without it.
Yeah,
but it's a key part of the movie, but, like, there's a lot of moments where they just bicker with each other.
That's right,
Instead of actually trying to focus on the threat of a giant demonic Santa and his minions. Speaking of the minions...
Let's talk about that.
Giant Jack-in-the-Box with a face that can open up like a predator.
And...
swallows a child.
Swallows an entire child. Now, this is one thing that has
Gingerbread men that shoot a guy with a nail gun.
And they get killed instantly and get eaten by a dog.
That was funny.
That was the funny part. That's why the movie is also seen as comedic, because there are so many comedic moments. Another random comedic moment that honestly kind of turned me off in this one scene is when Krampus finally shows up to the house and he starts chaining up everybody. He chains up the character and Dorothy, and for some reason...
He pulls out the window, it's a whoosh.
It's a whoosh sound effect. Yeah, for some reason, it's a cartoon whoosh sound effect when she gets blown out. When she gets blown out the window, which I don't know why that was randomly inserted. I get it for comedic purposes, but personally that turned me off. I was like, okay. Like, that's kind of weird, but...
It didn't fit. And as for PG-13, it goes as close as it can to being an R film.
As close as it can. Like, obviously, you have very gruesome moments, like the
child
stuff
getting eaten by
a Jack-in-the-Box, the stuffed teddy bear getting stabbed in the eye.
It's green blood, so it doesn't count.
Green blood, so it doesn't really count as R.
The uncle character getting his leg numbed on.
Yeah, you can see blood in that scene. You hear it.
Crunchy.
Yep, and they actually showed the wound later on. So they're trying to be as R as possible in a PG-13 flick.
Which is strange, because, like, was it, like, the studios who wanted it to be PG-13? Even, like, I think this movie would have benefited from an R rating a little bit.
It's possible, and I actually think the reason why it was trying to go for the PG-13 rating, because this movie was made by Universal. Now, Universal has made plenty of R-rated films over the years, but for some reason, their target towards horror is always trying to be PG-13 as possible, which I wouldn't really understand it, but maybe it's Yeah, I'm not sure.
Money.
True. It's all.
They
want
to make more money once they
cash.
make it towards the younger demographic, PG-13. More people can see it. If they go see it, you get money. The more people make money, the more people make movie money.
Exactly.
It's all about the money.
If you notice, PG-13 horror movies have been recorded to make much more money than R-rated horror films because it's open to more audience.
Except for like the rare cases.
There are rare cases like Joker,
Out.
Logan.
Get Out has made a bunch of money.
Definitely, yeah.
Jordan Peele films, those are really profitable.
Very profitable, and he's obviously right in that R-rated territory.
He's a really good director. I really like his stories.
But for some reason, like, horror has gone to this age where it just has to be PG-13 nowadays. So
that's why I hope. That's why with like all the films that I talked about, from what I saw, most of them will be rated R, and I'm excited to see where those go.
Definitely. And I guess, sorry for branching off to what we were talking about, Krampus, but that is definitely a thing with horror films nowadays because, as we know, back then with horror films, PG-13 did not exist. There was G, PG, and R. And PG-13
didn't come out until Indiana Jones. 3?
Yeah, it was because they were looking at this film thinking, okay, this isn't...
It's not too adult, but it's not childish.
It's not childish, exactly. It's not PG, it's not R, so let's put it right in the middle. And that's how PG-13 existed, and everybody became disappointed because PG films turned from this... Kids can watch it. PG. Jaws was PG. Gremlins, Poltergeist, all those films were PG. They were.
Drew rips his face off in Poltergeist.
And that was PG. And PG was kind of labeled as, yeah, the kiddos can watch it, but parental guidance is needed.
It's you're good.
Oh,
you forgot one rating. X.
Unfortunately, X isn't shown very often anymore, but...
You can't... You get small town theaters.
Small town theaters and like...
Small town, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Unscripted, people.
Unscripted, sorry, yeah.
Let's close this off with our final thoughts on the film Krampus. Josh?
So for me, Krampus, in terms of the gore and the type of like stuff they were trying to show, I think the film should have been rated R. Personally, going for the PG-13. Now, sorry, so my overall take on the movie, I really like the moments where the family comes together. That like shows a theme and it's giving like a life lesson to all the audience watching. In terms of the horror, some of it is good content to show for horror, but some of it was being a little too cartoonish, kind of. Like I said, the whoosh sound effect and all that other stuff. The comedy, personally, I don't think the comedy didn't really fit in the film. The random comedic moments they were trying to insert, I think like they should have just kept things like in the kind of like tone it was going for. So my take on the film, it's an okay horror film. It's okay. Yeah.
Krampus, for me, is a film that definitely should have done more of what it was given. Like Josh said, it should have been given a rated R with the different elements and themes it could have had in the film.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, for what it's given, it does mostly well with the random moments of things that don't belong. Overall, I give Krampus a peppermint schnapps out of a gingerbread man. Subscribe to Josh's channel, ShockBlast Gamer, link in the description, and the pinned comment, which will be this man's comment right here, because I know he will.
Nerd content.
Because he always does.
Yes, I do.
Support since the beginning. I love this man so much.
And of course, keep loving this man. Keep his fan base going. Get this guy to 200 subscribers. We're almost there. I think it's like at, what, 191?
192.
Let's get this man to 200. He has amazing content, horror fanatics. I know you're going to love this guy. Anyways, we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, Internet.
I'm breaking